The big boys of Warhammer have been confirmed as the early adopter bonus, and from what we have seen so far, they are looking very good. They seem to have most of their units from their army book, and their campaign mechanics have now been revealed. The Ogre Kingdoms will play quite differently from other races in Warhammer, having a unique camps mechanic which allows them to settle within the borders of other factions all over the campaign map. This gives the player a great deal of flexibility in how they play and approach the campaign. Do you want to create a united kingdom in the Mountains of Morn, keeping your homeland firmly under your control? Do you feel like packing up and relocating to the opposite end of the world, occupying the Grey Mountains or taking over those wonderful Empire cities? Camps sound like a great way to give the player more freedom in how they approach the campaign, and are reminiscent of the flexibility provided by the Beastmen's and the Wood Elves' updated mechanics. Only camps will allow access to the higher tier buildings and units of the Ogres, as any captured settlements from other races are treated as minor outposts, with just 4 building slots up to a maximum of tier 3. This approach really puts the campaign in a new light, as places like Altdorf or Kislev won't be as important, as they will not provide the higher tiers that players are accustomed to. The player won't just be able to spawn camps in every region of the map though, as the number of camps that can be constructed is limited by what technologies have been researched. Apart from allowing access to the higher level units, a camp may provide massive benefits. Any camp constructed in enemy territory will mean that the garrison will be constantly raiding the region, generating income every turn. Garrisons act a little bit differently, as the player is now able to decide which units are in the garrison and trade them with any nearby friendly armies. This means you can defend your camp with the Doom stack if you wish, rather than relying on the default units provided. This is a very nice change indeed. Camps will also have a sphere of influence on the campaign map, with any armies in that area receiving massive bonuses. Certain buildings in the camp can improve the benefits, providing extra casualty replenishment, meat, and other bonuses. Camps on the campaign map will also benefit other factions that are not at war with the Ogres, allowing them to recruit mercenaries for their armies. When all the bonuses of the camps are added together, they become a very powerful focal point for the campaign. Now, alongside camps, the Ogres will have contracts, similar to the ones used by Clan Eshin. The contract screen will allow the player to perform special missions, which they are given by the AI factions nearby. 3 new contracts will become available every 10 turns, with the missions ranging from killing characters to sacking cities or destroying armies. Completing these missions will provide large boosts to the relationship with the issuing faction. It will be a great way to get factions on your side if you don't want to eat them. Speaking of eating, let's take a look at the Ogre Kingdom's special resource, meat. Eating and fighting and then eating some more is central to everything that ogres do. Each ogre army will require both gold and meat to function, with 1 meat being consumed per unit. Pretty standard stuff. Now, when your army is in the zone of control of a camp though, then the meat upkeep is waived, so be sure to stay near your camps if your army doesn't have any specific targets. And remember, if you are short on meat and there's an enemy army nearby, you can always process them to feed your hunger. Meat will have a number of uses in the campaign. Just before a battle, you can hold a feast with up to 5 meat. Each portion of meat will give a stacking bonus to speed, charge bonus, and unit mass. Do you want your boys to hit faster and harder? Then make sure they are well fed before you take to the battlefield, as bigger, heavier ogres do more damage. Alongside feasts, ogre armies can initiate offerings to the Great Maw. Meat can be given to gain large army buffs for a number of turns. Some of the options include Bloody and Raw, which provides additional melee attacks for all units in the army, Come and Get It, which provides additional campaign movement, Fill Your Bellies, which decreases global recruitment time, and Give Me Gut Magic, which provides additional Winds of Magic power reserves each turn it's active. Only one of these buffs can be active at any one time, but you can switch as you like and even maintain permanent uptime as long as you have a good supply of meat. The final mechanic for the Ogre Kingdoms that has been revealed is one drawn directly from the Ogre's army book. Big names. These can be earned by every Ogre Lord with up to 4 active at once. This applies to legendary lords such as Greasus and Scrag, and to generic lords such as Tyrants and Slaughtermasters. Legendary characters will have access to their own pool of unique names that can be earned, while there is a larger pool of names that can be earned by all. Big names can be unlocked by performing certain tasks with your lords and armies, and they will provide special effects and abilities. A couple of the different names available include Noblar Kicker, which is unlocked by winning a battle with 5 Noblar units in your army. This provides the unbreakable attribute to all Noblar units in that army from that point forward. This is very fitting and seems quite easy to achieve, as in the lore every Noblar is at risk of physical harm from every ogre at any moment, for any reason. Death Cheater requires that you lose a battle but your lord survives. It will provide the Death Cheater passive ability, though we have no idea what that does at this time. Rat Killer is unlocked when you win a battle against the dirty Verminous Skaven. This will provide a buff to melee attack of +12 when fighting against Skaven armies. Big Bellower provides the Big Bellower ability, which increases leadership by 8 for all units within 55 meters of your lord on the battlefield. Unsure how this one is unlocked, as it's already active in the screenshot. Some other big names we'll have access to include Arse Belcher, Camp Maker, Boom Maker, and Kin Eater. These seem like a great way to give your lords some unique flavour. The big names for legendary lords, of course, will provide a greater boost, with campaign level effects to fit their status. So, there we have the mechanics for the Ogre Kingdoms, coming to Warhammer 3 as the early adopter bonus. It will be interesting to see what unique mechanics Greasus and Scrag receive, apart from these standard Ogre mechanics. I hope they get something interesting and well fleshed out. I certainly hope for more than what has been given to Kairos, as I was very disappointed by that reveal. From what we have seen so far of the Ogre Kingdoms though, they seem to be shaping up very nicely to be one of the most interesting races at launch, and for me a serious contender for my first playthrough when Game 3 is released. Now what are your thoughts on the mechanics for the Ogre Kingdoms that we have seen? Do you like how the entire race is looking? If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like or subscribe to the channel. As always, this video was brought to you with the help of my patrons. Thanks to Hot Apple Pie, Alexander, and Solarith Magnetar. I'm Grey Tiger, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.